I got some modified parts for the Ultimate AOS in here because it doesn't really fit well in my Cayman, so Skip made some new stuff for me. So this elbow, first of all, interferes with the cover where you have to bolt it in. So in the past I had to like push this back and forward a little bit manually, and it somehow barely got in, and then this thing always made contact with it. The epoxy came off on the bottom connection when I was wrestling this new one in there, so that's why it looks like this. I'm gonna cut these ties off just so I can remove that. And this one design, this pipe comes up from the top, goes over the air intake here, over to the AOS piece over there. So in the new design, you'll see in a minute, this routes underneath here, and this one comes up here. This one goes underneath. You'll see in a second, but it's a new design he came up with to try to make this fit in a Cayman. All right, one change is the bottom of this bolt for the drain is an 8mm hex instead of what used to be a regular, I don't know if this was a 15 or 17 or what, but it is a little more difficult to get under that to tighten it and loosen it, I think, but not a big deal. And also there are now brass crush washers, and this is what it used to be. It used to be a little like a nylon washer, and then this bushing thing that went on top. Big difference. I really should have filmed this before I started putting it in there, but the bracket that attaches now has like a 90-degree bend in it. So it's twisted, so it will fit in facing that direction using the same bolt. But what that does is help push this over and bring it down a little bit. All right, here is the new bracket that I received, and it still is not quite right. So I'm going to try to redesign it a little bit myself by bending it. If you look down, this would be the back of it. If you look down like that, the bolt hole where it should screw in kind of lines up directly with these two parts that the bolts go through, and instead it's over to the left, as you can see. It could be even a tiny bit to the right. So if this was pretty much straight and not bent at this length, I think it would be really good. So let me just try to bend it, see if I can make it fit. All right, super easy to bend with a vise and some giant channel locks. So I think I'm gonna try something like that. Okay, with that bend, you can see I have it here, and that hole is almost lined up. I don't know if you can see it. All right, yeah, there you can see the hole for the intake manifold. So it just needs to be like a few more centimeters over to the right, and it should line up pretty nicely. That's going to allow this to be here. If these were a little shorter, it would be even helpful too, so it wouldn't make contact, and you'd be able to have even a little more flexibility with this. Maybe if this piece was threaded, that'd be awesome. Then you could eliminate a lot of the back of that bracket. But yeah, so I think we're almost there. I'm going to rebend it just a little bit. All right, this time I oriented it on the vise the way it goes to make it a little more easy to see. And we got the hole just a little bit off to the right now. So I'm gonna go with this. All right, so I think I'm just gonna route this long one that he gave me under here, connect it here, and then just cut it to the right length to be able to attach it to this pipe that's kind of going out at a 45 degree. Just use a clamp to hold that on there. I guess I'll probably have to epoxy it here. And then this other one, once that's on there out of the way, we'll figure out how to connect it here. All right, from the neck of this down to the base, it is 14 inches. All right, we got this connected, 14 inches of pipe. Got it connected over here to this 45. This is all epoxied in now. Now for this piece, I'm going to adjust it so that it'll fit, and then epoxy it in so it connects up here. I got this piece epoxied and I let it dry. It's at this angle right here. So it is going to connect in like that with a nice low 1-inch profile there. And I'll line this other side up. All right, so I should have had this piece coming out a little more at this angle. That way somehow my measurements sucked. There's a little bit of rotational movement here. So I got these two attached with these two clamps. Now I'm gonna put epoxy on them and then put this piece in place and let it dry. All right, so here is my final contraption. I got those pieces all epoxied up. We got a little tiny bit of the flexible hose here onto here with the two clamps. That's running underneath. So there's the angle of that one down there. This angle is pretty much parallel to the top of the box, and then a 45 up and to the left there a little bit to line it up. So let me see if I can put the top on and we'll fire this thing up. Perfect, all bolted down with no issues, much better than the original version. So thanks, Skip, for the help. Hope this was helpful to you guys out there. Give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed. See you later.